My girl. She's my good girl. Let's get you out of there, Emma. It's time to start your day, girl. Here we go, girl. Come on. Come on, girl. Today's supposed to be a pretty hot day. Did my best to get down here early, try to beat the heat, maybe knock off a little bit early. They're talking about odd noise. They're talking about 90 degrees today and if it gets that hot, it might boil up a few thunderstorms this afternoon, which would be great for me because I plan on napping and just catch up on the news in the afternoon. Just take a nice relaxing afternoon. So that's going to be the story from here, but I have a couple things to show you before we get that far. Okay. Anyway, I did a video a little while back about weeding. One of the primary tools that people use when they weed the garden is a hoe, like this one right here. This particular hoe was my father's. And I've got a few of my father's tools around here, it's always nice to use them. For one reason, other than the fact that he owned them, is the fact that the old tools were made out of different steels. It's like a pre-World War II steel. It just seems to be better than the modern steels. But anyway, this was his hoe, and I am very honored to be able to use it. But I wanted to show you something interesting about it. It has rounded edges, rounded corners. And those rounded corners are because oftentimes when you use a hoe, you take that corner and you jab it into the ground next to the weed you want to remove, especially if it's a big weed. This hoe is this is a hoe. It's shaped it's kind of built the same structure. But you notice that the blade is much smaller. Now, I did a video about weeding tools, oh golly, last week I think it was. And I had a picture, I tried to take a picture of these two hoes and it was just a bad picture. So this morning I thought I would zoom in on them so you could get a better view of these two hoes, especially the rounded corners and the unique shape of this little hoe. So hopefully you can see how very quickly and easily you can just use those corners, those unique corners, to get into these weeds. Mostly crabgrass right here, which comes out. If you get the crabgrass at this stage, it comes out pretty easily. That little hoe though is really not very useful when it comes to a large plant like this dandelion plant. There's two of them here, and it would be difficult. You probably could get rid of these dandelions with that collinear hoe, but this is really where this hoe comes in handy. And remember I told you about using a corner like this. So it's just very simple. You just give it a good whack down there, and that guy comes right out. Now I know what you're saying. You're thinking to yourself, yeah, but Stephanie, what about the taproot? Well, you can see the taproot right there, maybe. The only way you can get that out is with a shovel. And you're welcome to go get a shovel and dig at that taproot. But I just try to keep on top of the weeds. I also wanted to give you an update on the seed growing project. I planted these onion seeds. Longtime listeners will remember that I planted these onion seeds, oh golly, end of last summer or early fall. I put 20 of them in the ground, these onions. Just took the bulbs and put them right in the ground. And 17 of them came back out and are alive. And now I've got 17 of these seed scapes. I'll try to show you one here. I think I've got a couple seed scapes in the picture now. I couldn't really zoom in very well, but you get the idea. We get very excited about saving seeds, whether it's from a biennial plant like these onions or an annual plant like a tomato or a cucumber. We have a feeling that it's going to be very important to try to save your seeds, because we feel there's going to come a time when it'll be very difficult and very expensive to get seeds from a vendor. This is an heirloom open pollinated carrot. I have 3 of them here. I think that's what I put in the ground, 3 of them. And same thing, it's a biennial plant, and we're trying to learn how to save seeds. The onions and leeks are fairly easy to save seed from. Carrots a little bit more difficult, but quite doable at the same time. I'll show you a carrot seed pod so far. I don't know if the camera is in focus. I'm having troubles with it lately with regard to focusing, but I'm trying to focus in on this part right here. That's going to be a seed pod. There's another one right there. Those would be seed pods. I just finished telling you how we're trying to learn how to save seed. We just think that I don't really want to go into rant mode right now. You don't want to hear, and I don't really want to talk about, you don't care about my feelings, but the world is in a bad shape right now. We just had Ukraine attacking Russia, air bases. They have a treaty where they're not supposed to be doing that. And so the question is, did Trump know about it or not ahead of time? Either way, it's bad news. If he didn't know about it, then that meant that somebody from the West or a group of people decided to make this attack. Oh boy. And the Russian authorities have every right to be very upset, and the question right now is when and how will they retaliate? And they have every right to retaliate. I'm not picking one side over the other, don't get me wrong here, but we've got to learn how to do things for ourselves because of how this world is going. The economy, I was talking to one of our subscribers in the comment section that this is just like the Great Depression, which he pointed out lasted for 10 years, and it's right, but I would argue that we're in a depression right now. I mean, you're seeing food lines, you could call it a soup line, just like in 1929. You may have seen photographs of the soup lines. Soup and bread will work for food. But so we have soup kitchens today. We have EBT cards. So instead of lining up for soup, the government will help you out because the economy is so bad. The government has to pretty much help out people. And I don't mind the government helping people out. I'd rather spend money on that than spend money on some of these military conflicts that we have going on around the world. Everything seems to be so fake these days. Even I was talking to another subscriber about clothing and fabrics. If you walk into Walmart, which I haven't done in about 30 years, but if you were to, because I've seen pictures of it, everywhere you look is fake clothing and fake everything, just about. Even the food is fake, which brings me back to what we're doing here. We don't want fake stuff. You take my clothing. This shirt here, I hand sewed from real 100% linen. real flax linen. And we're growing flax right over there in the other garden. You may have seen it in some of the other videos. We actually grow flax and we're spinning it. We know how to spin flax into yarn. It's just, it makes me and Danielle feel very fulfilled knowing that we can do these things for ourselves. And at the end of the day, who cares? But it makes us feel good. And we also have a weaving loom up in the cabin in one of the rooms. And we're learning how to weave our linen yarn that we made on an 18th century spinning wheel. We're learning how to weave it into linen fabric. Now, will we be able to grow and spin and weave all of our clothing? No. No, we're running out of time. we're drastically running out of time. But if we were younger, it would be kind of a cool goal to have, to be able to make all of your own clothing. It's impractical, I know, but people just accept such crap. And the clothing industry puts out way too much clothing. I've seen videos of bales of clothing that comes from thrift stores and consignment stores. Nobody wants it, even at a thrift store, for $1 or $2. Nobody wants it. So they bale it up. They bale it up and they send it to third world countries where these big bales become auctioned off. And then they take their bale that gets transported down next to a lake and they open it up and they pass out the items of clothing that might be of any use. Oh, what a mess. Plastics, don't get me started on plastic. So let me just say that we're just trying to do as much as we can for ourselves and take it from there. I got to get back to work though. Enough ranting. Hopefully that wasn't a rant, and hopefully I didn't offend anybody. But I got to get back to work because we're going to stop working down here at 12 o'clock, go up to the house and make a nice light lunch and then take a good nap. And hopefully it does thunderstorm. That would be great. So thanks for watching. And I'll see you on the next one. Bye.